No, I would say that I don't. Even though I don't have much experience myself, I know from like my friends who've like broken up with guys in the past, the best way that they've gotten over it is by hanging out with like their mates and just going out and just like properly getting over it otherwise, as opposed to like just automatically like finding someone, because most of the time like you might like meet someone new but it usually ends up fizzling out anyway because you're not over the person you were with before. So it's just like a waste of time, I think.
I totally agree with that, yeah. I would say that the old love is a shadow hanging over you till the next sun is coming into your life. Okay, that was cheesy, but I stand with it.
You see, I told you, it might be it might be a gender thing, because
the
once
men
again...
are sticking to yes, that's the way to go. The women are saying no.
I think this is because, I think this is a gender thing. I think for men, you know, unfortunately, men seems to deal with that in a much easier way.
I think they are more practical. Women, by the opinion, there's like, you have an old love, be practical about it, find a new one and get over it.
Yeah, we know that for women it's not that simple. You know, women get more attached, a bit more emotional. So maybe the idea of being a man, you know, as you said, more practical, let's just get over this and move on. So maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, but it seems like, because so far we had 2 men saying yes, that's the way to go, and the women saying no, it's not.
So what do you think?
That's right. So we'd like you to leave your comments on our social media, okay? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just search Love Talk Show. Leave your comments there. Say what you think. You know, let's see if in the comments that they leave on our social media page, we have women defending this theory and men defending this theory that no, that's the way to go, or women saying no, it's not gonna work, it can't work.
Yeah, maybe you even had an experience, you've done that and it didn't work, or you've done that, it has worked. So we'd like to hear from you.
So before we go back to Samuel's story, we have a question to answer, which means it's time for Dear Love Talk. I caught my husband having a hardcore porn website account. He was watching and interacting with the girls on the site. I confronted him and he said he stopped and deleted all his accounts. However, when I asked for his passwords on social media, he didn't want to give it. He says he loves me and that I am the only girl he wants for the rest of his life, that I should trust him. But I'm finding it very hard. Help. Well, obviously, it is very hard to trust when the person denies you his or her passwords.
Yes.
So no wonder she's finding it hard.
Especially after having been caught doing what he wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah. First of all, I mean, we know it's the trend out there nowadays with so much access to, you know, to media, all sorts of media, you know, from your cell phone, from a tablet, from computer. I mean, you have it out there. Anywhere you can have access to those kind of things, which I consider them, and I believe many people consider them nasty and horrible. But the point here is no longer the porn websites. Okay, let's say he really stopped watching and interacting with those women.
Right.
But the fact that he refuses to share his passwords with her, why? What is he hiding?
I mean, one thing that
you as a woman, for example.
I wouldn't accept it, no.
What would be your reaction?
I think the problem is when she says, I confronted him. I think what they mean by it is they were shocked to find out. And then by confronting, they mean, what are you doing? You know, that's it. And then, of course, he was caught, so I'm sorry, I love you, you are the only girl I want to spend the rest of my life with, trust me, blah, 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 blah. But, it's just words. It's just talk. Just talk. He didn't have to do anything, and the problem is, when she confronted him, that's all she did. When in fact, when that happens, you need to confront and put conditions. Okay, I will not accept this happening again. This is unacceptable in our marriage. So, to ensure that this won't happen, this is what needs to be done. In her case, I believe what she wants is access to his social media to see what he's
Of course,
doing.
because she lost confidence.
Trust.
She lost trust,
Yeah.
pardon me. Trust. Trust is gone. Trust is down the drain now. So she needs to trust him again, and he needs to help her trust him again. So in other words, I messed up. So here are all the passwords you can check. It's not because she wants to pry or she wants to play the detective. I want to see every one of his moves.
Control him.
Control him from no. It's just the moment now to regain that trust. Once that trust is back, it's gonna be all fine. And obviously, meaning no more hidden secrets, right? No more shared passwords or accounts. One of the things we advise couples sometimes to do is to have the same account, Facebook account, Instagram account, whatever. I mean, it's not a must, but it's something that helps. So it's a time now to regain that trust. So as you said, she needs to draw the line. Listen, I need access. I lost trust. I'm not trusting you. You're saying to me that I am the only girl in your life and that you are that you love me, and then you no longer do those things, but you're not sharing your password. So that doesn't work.
Just words are not enough.
Talk's cheap.
Talk is cheap. The problem is he really repentant? Of course, he got caught. So when you're caught, oh, I'm sorry, you know, and you say, I'm not going to do it again. But what guarantees do you have? And the fact that he doesn't feel the need to do her bidding, to do what she's asking him, shows that he's probably telling her he's not doing it anymore.
That repentance, that sorry must be followed by a few actions. Listen, I'm sorry, I did wrong, therefore I'm going to do this and that, don't worry. So then she will obviously be at peace. She's not at peace right now. And that's a big problem. So you need to draw the line. You need to tell him, listen, this is it. I'm not trusting you. You're telling me that you love me. You're telling me that you're no longer doing those things. You're no longer accessing those sites, but you're not sharing your passwords with me. It's a problem. If he says, no, but I don't need to. What do you want? You know, I have my accounts, my pages, my privacy. You have yours. No, there's no such a thing within marriage. There's no such a thing. So you have to draw the line, look him in the eye, and tell him as it is. And then see how it goes from there.
Yeah, put conditions. You have to value yourself. This is, if you find this is unacceptable in your relationship, as I do, then you have to draw the line. No, you're not going to accept that, and he has to abide by your conditions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no future.
Yeah.
There is no relationship or marriage without trust.
Exactly. So if you'd like us to answer any questions you might have about relationships, or share with us, you know, any issue you're going through right now as a single person or a married person, write to us, write to questions@lovetalkshow.tv, okay? We'll be more than glad to answer any questions you might have.
I think when I went to uni, the culture is literally no parents, just partying, drinking, and when you mix alcohol with socializing, literally, I went crazy. I went crazy because my parents weren't there. Nobody was, going to keep any tabs on me.
So at that time, it's safe to say that you weren't looking for anything serious.
Because I think I haven't even got over my ex-girlfriend,
the first one.
I still had feelings that I needed to deal with. I didn't know how to deal with them. Not to mention, the issues from childhood that I still haven't dealt with them. So at this stage, I was very confused inside, lost inside, frustrated. But I just thought, you know what, I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna put too much effort into it because it was causing too much stress. Sometimes I'll sit down and think, and just the thought of going through everything and just mulling over everything was just too much stress to just think about. So I was just, just forget about it. I had a few dates, but me drunk and me being sober, I was a completely different person. Because when I was drunk, it was me trying to fill the void and trying to deal with the depression. I think I was depressed at that time already. I was depressed, trying to deal with it. So once I was drunk, then the personality would come out. But in the daytime, having to face reality and normal daily stress, and I was just zoned back in again. So even when I went on dates, I didn't know what to say. I was just Mr. Bean, no personality. I didn't know what to do. And as such, I think that will reflect in them thinking, is this guy all right? 1 minute or this and that. So I never really kept any relationship in uni. I met a few, I think the longest relationship I had was 2 years with somebody, but there's so many issues. She had a lot of issues as well, you know, always in and out of hospital. So nothing really came out of it. So we had to break off in the end. So it just went on to the extent, I think after uni, I met somebody and we were together for 3 years. Once again, met her in the club. Not to mention I still had my baggage, my issues that I was trying to deal with. She had a lot of issues. She was also cheated on at a very young age. I think 16 when she first had a relationship. So she hadn't dealt with that. And the two of us together was just, you know, chalk and cheese. When we're drunk, okay, sober, crazy. And I didn't really know how to break it up with her because inside of me I felt I can help her, even though I needed help. So I kept the relationship so long, trying to help her, but it just wasn't working. I cheated on her many times because I just couldn't cope with it, and I couldn't have the courage to break up with her. I was a coward, and I just didn't know what to do. Eventually, we broke off. Well, she broke off, which was a relief for me because I didn't have the courage to do it. And I thought to myself, okay, let's hold on because you're making way too many mistakes here. You know, from one, it's just getting like a snowball effect. It's bad to worse. And I felt within myself that something was not right. It got so bad that even, you know, I started working, even socializing more, meeting more girls, sleeping around, even to the point where, you know, I would literally go out clubbing by myself, you know, just to sleep with somebody, to fill the void. And I'll take a girl home, sleep with her, come back in again, and then get another one and go and sleep because I was living right in the center. And even the bouncers would laugh at that. You know, I was friends with them, so they would laugh. You're not the best looking guy. How'd you do it? But for me, it wasn't a bragging right. I think I was crying out for help. I was calling for somebody to help me because I knew there was some deep stuff inside of myself that I haven't even come to the surface. I don't even know how to think about them, let alone dealing with them. I thought about counseling. You know, I thought about to sit down and actually admit that there's something wrong with me. I think there's a little bit of pride. I didn't want to face the reality that there was something that was wrong with me.
You see, that's how mess keeps developing, right? How can he possibly say that there was nothing wrong with him, or maybe, as he says, he didn't want to face the fact that could possibly have something wrong with him. I mean, after everything he experienced, he witnessed, he went through, but maybe it's not with me, maybe it's with people around me, maybe it's the women that I've been relating myself to. So you see, this lack of self-evaluation, you know, people have to evaluate themselves, is what caused a big mess, because it's clear that there is something wrong with him. There was something wrong with him. And he was somehow maybe pretending or not wanting to see it. So the more he ignored that, the worse things went for him.
The more mistakes he made.
Exactly.
I think one thing is because it's easier to blame something else. It's always easier for us. Who wants to face the fact that, yes, it was me, I made a bad judgment call. So it's easier to say it's this person, or it's not me. And as you said, you keep ignoring that. So there's something wrong with you, but let's forget that. I think even by what he says, it seems that he kept on trying to find women to forget that fact. There is something wrong with me, but let not think about that. Let me distract myself, trying to find happiness, trying to find fulfillment. And that's one way that you start messing up your love life.
He mentioned something about counselor. He tried counselors. I don't know what he heard when he spoke to a counselor, when he received some sort of advice. But he's a clear example of a man who is holding on to his pride, who is holding on to his ego, putting his ego above everything else, everyone else, including himself, No, we need to see that, hold on a second, let me look back. No, there's a trace of mess behind me. It's a big trace of mess, and I have to stop and see what I need to do to change this. And perhaps the change starts with me. It's not about finding a different woman in a different environment, perhaps traveling to another country, perhaps trying someone younger or older. No, it's with the individual, the person. So the lack of self-evaluation causes people to keep messing with their love lives, and also, not getting to the root of the problem. And the problem here is that they don't mess only with themselves; they mess with others. I'm pretty sure that the women he related to, the women that he got into a relationship with, got messed up too.
For sure.
And that's another problem here. I mess with my life, and I mess with your life.
And I think one sign for you, I think people sometimes they go like this, it's a matter of trying. I have to keep trying. The other relationships didn't work, or they were bad, or they ended up bad. I just have to keep trying, I have to have faith. But the truth is, you've been trying, it hasn't worked. It's a sign for you that there is something wrong. You are doing something wrong because it's not working.
And there goes again the idea of mind versus heart. Okay, when you have to go for an exam, you don't try. You don't try. You focus, you study, you go through books, you revise, you use your reasons, you don't use your heart, you don't consult your heart. You consult your mind, your gray mass, your intelligence, your reasoning is at work. So you don't try, because you know that if you try, you fail. So, people have to realize that there are times in which it's not about trying a new place, a new country, a new job, or a new person, new relationship. It is about using your head, looking at yourself, say, okay, what do I need to do? And get practical about it, right? So we're gonna go for a quick break right now, and after the break, we're gonna get into the final part of Samuel's story, okay? Stick around, don't go anywhere.